Hi, welcome to Love Saranghae with Peter and Andrea. In the next 30 minutes, we'll take you on a journey into the exciting world of entrepreneurship, relationships, and the secrets behind achieving that coveted glow. Are you ready? Let's go.
Welcome back to another episode of Love Saranghae with us, Peter and Andrea. Today's episode is one of those pinch me moments. If you've been part of our journey for any amount of time, you know how deeply we believe in slow, intentional growth, meaningful partnerships, and building something with heart. So, to be included in the Jilly Box, the Spring Jilly Box, this season feels incredibly full circle for us. In this episode, we're sharing what the Jilly Box actually is for those who may not know, why it's such a big deal for us in the wellness and lifestyle space, who is Jillian Harris, and why her community is so special, how our Orora Advanced Lip Repair Serum found its way into tens of thousands of homes across North America. We'll also take you a little bit behind the scenes of what it really takes to land a partnership like this, the long game, the relationship building, the timing, and the moments of doubt along the way. If you're a founder, a dreamer, or someone who loves seeing what's possible when you stay rooted in your values while thinking big, this episode is for you.
So those of you who are listening will know as the podcast goes on that this is Andrea's big deal. She's been working on this Jilly Box deal for a long time. So I'm going to have her have the moment in the sun, explain the deal, and I will be the ones asking the questions today. So I'm going to be like Ed McMahon, ask questions, and my wife will be the star of the show. Okay. So first question I'm going to start with is the obvious one. For listeners who may not know, what is the Jilly Box and why is it such a big deal, Andrea?
Okay, so for those who don't know, the Jilly Box is like a seasonal, highly curated lifestyle box created by the founder, Jillian Harris. I think she's a co-founder. And she's also like a well-known Canadian designer. She was a TV host of Love It or List It, which was a design show that I grew up with, I loved. And she's an influencer. So each quarter, Jillian and her team put together a collection of beauty, fashion, home, self-care, and wellness items that reflect her personal style and values. And it's not just like a subscription box, but it's more of an experience designed to feel, how she says it, is kind of designed to feel like a love letter to whatever season or theme it is in that time. So the Spring Jilly Box, which is at the time of recording, it's spring 2026. This box was inspired by timeless Parisian elegance, and it's valued at over $400 Canadian, but it's offered for around $199 Canadian, depending on whether you add things to the box. So you have options of adding certain extras, if you will, or you can just get the box as is, and that would be $199 plus tax. So it's a high-value box, beautifully curated, and it feels like everyday luxury, if you will. Like it's just, and the idea also is that it's a secret, so you don't know what you're going to get. You have an idea of the theme, you know what the add-ons are, but you don't know what's actually in the box. So it's kind of like a Christmas present that you're opening, but for adults, which is kind of fun. So I don't know. I guess what sets the box apart and what makes it feel so exclusive is how fast moving it is. So boxes sell out sometimes within minutes. She has like a community of insiders who wait, like they're waiting for their hopeful email that they can access the Jilly Box. Because not everybody gets access to it. And you only have so much time to make the purchase. And once that time is up, you lose your chance and it goes on to the next person. And the really cool thing about this box, outside of all the other obvious things, is that most of the items come from small, values-led brands, often Canadian, women-owned, or socially conscious companies Yeah, so that really means Jilly Box isn't just about a discovery, it's about supporting meaningful brands and giving them platforms. I think, there's so many good things about it.
Yeah, you know what I like with the Jilly Box, what actually that sets it apart from a lot of the boxes that we've worked with in the past, is that many of the boxes that we work with have asked for us to provide the products for free as a way to, co-market. The box gets the product and we get to market to people. But the Jilly Box doesn't do that. The Jilly Box actually pays a full, like a B2B price, just like any other wholesaler, to support the brands that they feature in the box. So they actually cut a purchase order and purchase the products from the brands. I really like that. I think that speaks to volumes as to how Jillian Harris or Jilly Box runs the business. And, they speak about supporting Canadian brands or local brands, and that proves it, right? Like, it's not just asking for a freebie. They're looking to support the brands. I really like that fact.
And in a big way, too, because they're not ordering like 50, they're ordering like 20,000.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal for a small business. So yeah, it is, they put their money where their mouth is 100%.
So then let's talk a little bit more about the person who founded it then, because really the box is an extension of the personalities, right? So can you tell the audience a little bit more about Jillian Harris, who she is,
for sure.
And why does her platform and community feel so aligned with what we stand for as a brand?
So yeah, like I said earlier, Jillian Harris is a Canadian entrepreneur. She's a designer, storyteller, lifestyle creator. Many people also know her from not just the TV show Love It or List It, but also from The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. So she's been a TV personality for a while, and that's I hope I'm not saying this wrong, but I think that's how she sort of came to fame. And then she used that to create something really meaningful. And that's how she created Jilly Box, but also she used to have the Jilly Academy, where she supported female business owners in their growth. She's a cookbook author. She's a lot of really cool things. And I think she inspires a lot of people, especially moms, women who are aspiring to be like her. What I think makes her platform so powerful and why it resonates so strongly with what we stand for is her focus on community, authenticity, and value-led curation. So her audience trusts her.
Yeah. What some people or some of the customers out there or the community doesn't know about the Jilly Box is that they tend to work multiple times with the same brand. So there's there are brands in that box that have been there for like 5 or 6 times, which tells me that it's about building relationships and trust and working together instead of just finding out what the next hot thing is. That's kind of cool, right? That's kind of like the antithesis of what modern like hype business is all about. So again, I'm impressed with that.
Yeah, for sure. She tests everything herself.
That's right.
And multiple times. So it's not like there's a team of people who are testing and then she just sticks her name on it. Her team is testing, but she's also testing. And so when she says, I love this, you know that she's used it.
Yeah.
In many cases, her husband has used it, her family is using it. So it's a big deal to be welcomed into this community in this way. And I think it adds an element of trust to the brands who she takes on because she's very thoughtful about how she brings brands on and her why behind those brands. So I don't know. I think it's
pretty special.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously it's very special to us because Andrea has been looking to, or like she had this dream board up on her wall, and the Jilly Box was part of that dream board like years ago. Yeah. And it happened, right? And I kept like kind of like, chiding her for it. I'm like, oh, dream board, maybe we should put a spaceship up there, and things just start happening. So I think I got to put a dream board of my own, right?
I think so. I think it'll be fun.
My private plane.
It's my favorite thing to do in January is to put up a board of the year. Like, what is my goal for this year? And I go really big. Like,
it's
really
pretty
wild
powerful.
Things.
It's pretty powerful. So it's pretty special to us. It's been a long journey for us to actually reach out to the Jilly Box and them actually saying yes and putting it into the box. So let's talk a little bit behind the scenes, because that's probably what a lot of our audience is looking to know. Like, how did this happen?
Yeah.
How did it go from zero to launch in what seemed like a very short amount of time? It just, we've been dreaming about it, thinking about it, strategizing about it, hopeful. Gee, wouldn't it be nice if we're in the Jilly Box and all of a sudden, it started to move real quickly. So let's talk about that. So how did this happen, Andrea? Like, what was the starting point and what were some of the key points in that journey?
So to be in Canada and a young mom, everybody, or most people there, most women anyway, know who Jillian Harris is. They know about the Jilly Box. Whether they've ordered one or not, they know what it's about. And I've seen a few other brands that I knew who were in the box, and they spoke very highly of their experience. And I was like, oh, that would be such a dream to get in the Jilly Box, but I have no idea how to do it. So I applied on their website. I tried a few times that way, and nothing really came out of it. And then I just had it on my heart that was my goal. And whenever I did a lot of networking, and we did a lot of events. And whenever someone would say, "What's your ask?" that would be my ask. I'm looking for a connection or someone who knows someone in the Jilly Box who can get me like a conversation with someone. I just want them to try it, because I believe so strongly when you try our products, you will love them. So I just need someone to give me a minute.
Yeah.
So I can give them the product, let them try. So there was a few different opportunities that didn't work out. And then one of my business friends, she used to be my publisher for the books that I wrote. She came on as a PR person, and we were just experimenting. She had never really done PR for brands before. She's only been in the book business. And we needed someone PR, but we weren't really sure what we needed. So we just had a chat, and we're like, let's do this together and see what happens. And so her name is Sabrina Greer, and she sort of used her connections and was able to at least get a conversation going. And so we sent in the products, we had good chats, and then it went quiet. We're testing, and we'll get back to you.
Which is like the death knell for most brands, right?
Right. Like I was like, oh no, that means no. Like, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
And if you know me, one of the things I always say whenever people ask me what's your secret, it's always be persistent until they tell you to F off.
Yeah. But I mean,
so it's not a no until they say it's not happening, literally.
So one thing we have to clarify to our audience, though, is that it's not like Andrea, called their number every hour or every day. Or email the same email like, hey, what's going on? Hey, I'm looking for what the status is, or just touching base, which is the thing that most salespeople do every single day or every single week. That's not how we did it, right? So Andrea was persistent in a specific way. She was adding value to the equation and using certain different relationships to touch from different points. So do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so it would be an email, and then it would just be like just following up, just checking in to see what's happening. Then Sabrina and we decided this wasn't a fit. Sabrina decided she wanted to just focus on her books, and we weren't really sure what our end goal was going to be for PR. So we gave each other lots of love and we separated, but we had emailed them as well to let them know that our point of contact was changing. So we just every few months, so it wasn't all the time. It wasn't every week. It was maybe once every month or a month and a half that we would have a reason to reach out to them, to connect, so that we would still be top of mind somehow. And so at one point they said, you don't need to email us. We will get back to you if this is going to be a fit. So then that was my cue to just give it a rest. And I literally told Peter, I said, it's going to happen. I just don't know when and I don't know how. And I let it go. So it's almost like I wasn't holding it. I knew I had the belief that it was going to work. I just didn't know how or when. And then we got an email. I don't even know when we got the email, but we got an email about the Jilly market, which means that they would order 50 of each of our Orora products, and they would be in the spring marketplace. So right now, if you go to the Jilly Box website, you will see, and you search up skincare, you will see all of our Orora products there.
Yeah, the Jilly market,
that was
right?
the original deal. And then I think it was in August when we got an email from someone in the Jilly Box, and they said, we have a last minute opportunity for an inbox for the spring. Would you like to be in it? And oh my God, I fell off my chair. I was so excited. I was so excited about the Jilly market. And then the Jilly Box inbox, that was just like, I can't believe it's happening. But then because all of our products are made in Korea, we have another level of complexity because we need to not only have 20,000 units made in 3 months, we also need to ship it from Korea, which there's a lot of logistical things that can go wrong when you have a short, tight timeline. And so we as a team made the decision that we were going to go for it, and we were going to try our best to make it happen. And the lab was agreeable. They said it was possible. We just needed to move like now.
Yeah. Well, so we got to give a shout out to our partners in Korea because this was a non-standard practice. Number one, the time frame was too short. And second, we asked for some concessions on the process that we normally follow. Especially our original Orora lip syrup, as those of you who have purchased already know, it's a 3-in-1 box. And Jilly wanted us to create a 1 lip serum box for this project. And that was going to take normally, a certain amount of time, but we have to cut that in half. And our partner, God bless their souls, every step of the way, they said, congratulations. This is something that's important to you. We're going to make it happen with you. So,
and they did.
Yeah, we did.
And they did.
So we got to.
It was down to the minute.
Yeah. I mean, one thing that I think everybody should take out of this is that yes, Orora lip serum is featured in the Jilly Box Spring 2026, but it's not just us that made it happen. It was everybody around us that kind of helped to push this project along.
Yes, including the team in the Jilly Box.
Yeah,
so they
great.
made a lot of. They were so supportive on top of emails. Like they were just responding quickly. We were able to respond quickly. Our teams in Korea were responding. So everything was just lining up in a way that I've never seen before. And it was really magical.
I was quite impressed with the Jilly Box team, by the way. They were really like a team of like young professionals kind of hustling. They had their T's crossed and I's dotted. Nothing was left up to chance. Things were already they had like a handbook, how to follow directions, and everybody knew exactly what to do. It was really well run.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. It was definitely like, oh my God, this is happening. But when it landed in their warehouse, I remember just coming down. I was so nervous because it was down to the last, we had 2 days to deliver.
Well, what the audience should know is that the way logistics worked is that there's multiple handoffs. And on this particular handoff, the product was sent over to the warehouse, and they were supposed to pick it up and take it the last mile, but nobody was answering their phone or email. And then after a certain time, we have to pay storage fees that are astronomical, like in the thousands of dollars every day. And so we were scrambling, every minute, every hour. We're like, is anybody? Why aren't they picking up their phone? Can somebody go and pick up these products, please? So that was kind of stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But thank God it all worked out. And we ended up being the featured brand in the Spring Jilly Box, which means
that's interesting.
We had a 4-page spread in a little booklet that gets delivered with the box. And so every step of the way, it was just been pinch me, I can't believe this is happening.
You know what? I mean, before we move on, though, I have to say, looking back in the last 8 years, it seems to me that almost every time we have to hurry and hustle and there's something that goes wrong and nobody's answering their phone and the boat sinks somewhere and the container goes to overboard somewhere and they can't find the products here. And seems to be every time we bring stuff in, something goes wrong. So I don't know if it's us or that's just how life is. But man, it's never never a dull moment, that's for sure.
Never a dull moment. That is a good way of putting it. But that's also the spice of life, right? Like that's
right.
Things interesting and a good story to tell later.
Okay, so why don't we then move on to the product itself? So we were featured. The feature product in the Jilly Box for Spring 2026 is our Orora Advanced Lip Repair Serum with SH Polypeptide 121. It's a mouthful, I know, but it sounds great. Let's talk about some of the other products as well. So what's so special about the products that made it into the Jilly Box?
Yes.
And why did we feel so proud seeing this particular product chosen? Why were we so proud of the lip serum?
So the product that was selected was a Orora Advanced Lip Repair Serum. And we're proud of it because the formula, first of all, is a reflection of what Orora stands for. It's high performance, clean, results-driven skincare. That's also thoughtful and gentle enough for everyday use. So that, for the first, the obvious parts, that lip serum really is a representation of who we are as a brand. And what makes the lip serum so special is that it's not just a glossy lip product that looks nice for a few minutes or an hour. It is a true treatment.
Yeah.
So it was designed for your lips that are dry, cracked, damaged. You've tried everything, nothing works. And it's just, it's
a great product.
Really hydrating, repairs the skin barrier, it visibly improves the skin and the look of your skin. Even if you wear it over makeup like lipstick, it just elevates everything. And if you're using it at nighttime, in the morning, your lips are going to be different than when you went to bed. It really works.
By the way, this wasn't done on purpose, but on Friday, we were allowed to announce, and we're announcing on podcasts amongst other...
The Clean Beauty Awards.
Yeah, the communication. That we were a finalist in the lip care department of the Clean Beauty Awards, which is certified clean. So there were, I don't know, somebody told me there were hundreds of submissions, and we were in the top 3 or so as a finalist for the lip treatment or lip product for 2026. So that happened on Friday. Congratulations to us.
Yes.
By the way, we're expecting more for the lip serum. By the way, we're expecting a number of awards
that seem to be that are going well. So hopefully we have more to share on that.
Yeah.
But at the heart of this formula is the vegan collagen peptide, which is an SH Polypeptide 121.
Yeah.
And that is a bioidentical 100% vegan collagen designed to support elasticity and plumpness in the skin. So this ingredient aligns beautifully with our values of innovation, efficacy, and conscious formulation.
Great product. And one we're going to be highlighting and talking about for a long time. It's very popular.
This was a labor of love, and I'm so happy that it's so well received.
Yeah, it's being talked about more and more, and I see a lot of growth and momentum with our lip serum. A lot more than I was hoping for, and I think it's going to be a hero product for us for a long time. Andrea, just for fun, aside from obviously our lip serum, what was your favorite product? What was your other top 1, 2, or 3 in the Jilly Box?
Ooh, I really liked the Smash and Test shirt. There was like a sweater. It was the striped blue and white.
That was cute, very cute.
Button. I love that. I wear it often, probably more than I should.
Yeah, she was wearing it the other day, just walking around. It was great.
It's something different. I don't have anything like it. So I really enjoy it. It's really nice quality too. And I really like the pearl earrings.
Oh.
They're like, I think it's called Ogilvy, or I might be getting the brand wrong, but they're really little pearl earrings. I'm wearing them now, actually. I don't know if you can see them.
Oh, yeah, they're cute. They're very cute.
And they're perfect for every day. Really light, and they're just like simple elegance. So I'm enjoying those.
You know what I like? I like the sweater on you. In fact, I was a little jealous. I was like, if there was an extra large, I would have definitely put it on. It was a cute sweater. I liked it. It kind of reminded me of like a naval theme.
Yeah,
like Navy captain. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And I really like the umbrella. I thought the umbrella was cute.
Really cool
the color was nice. Yeah, I really liked it. Most of the time the umbrellas are kind of boring. They're gray. They're black. This one was kind of like sunshiny, get a little happy. I really liked it.
That's true. I forgot about them, but I like that.
No, it's pretty good. Okay, so let's move on for the founders listening. What lessons did we experience that teach us about growth and visibility and playing the game for the long term? So what can we share to our founders who are listening right now, small business owners that might be looking for a little bit of advice on how to engage somebody like the Jilly Box?
Yeah. Okay. I think the biggest lesson from this whole experience is, I think actually it's the power of patience and the belief, like holding that belief and then putting yourself in situations where things can happen. So it's one thing to hold the belief, but it's a whole other thing to take action on that belief. So it's, networking. When people ask you, what would you love? Or what would be a big ask? And in a room of 100 people, you say, I would love to be in the Jilly Box. If anybody knows someone, someone connect me. Ask for what you want and don't be afraid of no.
Yeah.
So that would be like my biggest takeaway from this experience, and some of the other things that have been happening for us is that you have to you hold the belief, you're not holding on to it so tightly that it can't move or come in a way that you may not have expected. Have patience and trust in knowing that it will happen when the time is right. And then put yourself in, take action, put yourself in situations where you can ask for what you want and go big. And so what if it doesn't work out? So what if someone says no? On to the next.
Yeah, what I noticed in this journey was, we've been in business this brand has been in business for almost 10 years. And we've had a lot of highs and a lot of lows, everything in between. The Jilly Box could have manifested itself when we decided to focus on something a little different. We decided to pivot a little bit this year from being a direct consumer brand online, mostly serving the U.S. market. And the U.S. is still a big market for us, but we decided to pivot a little bit to building communities. Like, let's put our time, effort, and energy into fostering communities around skincare and mostly around K-beauty. And when that focus happened, everything started to align. And the Jilly Box is one of the culminations of that focus. And what that looks like, though, is that, before we didn't want to spend our time going to smaller events or talking to smaller groups or you look at time and the effect that has, how much time we have to do something. And we always said, it's just too small an audience for us to spend our time in. But we purposefully switch that around and say, no matter what the small of the audience, we're going to go and spend time with that audience. We're going to build a community, and that community will become a bigger community, and so on and so forth. So I think one of the lessons I think that I want to share is that, just because a community starts small doesn't necessarily mean that it stays small. And the power of sharing and the power of community kind of transcends just the numbers, right?
Wow.
Even if it's only 20 people in that room, it doesn't necessarily mean that idea stays and only in those 20 people. And that's a lesson I had to learn in fostering community. I look at a certain number and I make a decision, but that's not what I've been taught and I've learned this time around is that that's not necessarily the case. So spend your time talking about community, talking about your product with people who are willing to listen and people who have where you can add value. And if there is value, and obviously there was value from our case, it will spread.
Yeah.
And it will get into the ears of the people that you want to listen, right? So I think that's a valuable lesson for our founders.
Lesson.
Yeah,
I think that we can talk about that with followers. If you're like, I only have 100 followers, but if you look at a room full of 100 people, that's not small. So the goal for me is always to leave everyone I meet with increase. And it doesn't matter if it's 10 people, 2 people, 100 people, 10,000 people. Whatever opportunity that I have to be in front of an audience, however big or small, my goal is to leave something with them that is meaningful and impactful. And I think with that in mind, that is what we've done, I hope. And now it's becoming a ripple effect and things are actually happening in bigger ways.
Yeah, I think that's a really valuable thing.
So one other thing that was a huge lesson for us, I think, before we just end off here, is that being emotionally and operationally ready for big things like this. So there were a lot of, it took a really long time from the conception of an idea of the Jilly Box to actually making it happen. But in that period of time where we were hoping and holding the belief and doing other things, in the back end, we were preparing. So what does that mean to have our products in Canada? What do we need to have legally? What do we need to do to be ready for that call when it comes?
Yeah.
And so staying ready means you can say yes when the moment arrives. And that's what I mean. So even if it feels scary, what does this look like in action? It means preparing our team in Korea. It means making sure we had all the proper documentation, the right insurance, and just, lining our ducks up so that we're ready when it happens. And because we did that, we were able to move quickly when it did happen.
Yeah,
so I think that's
right.
a really important one for people who are like, what can I do now, action-wise, to prepare for something like this that might be on their vision board? And that would be something that I would suggest. So what do you need to do to make a big order like 20,000 possible?
Excellent point, Andrea.
All right. Well, let's do it here. I think this experience with the Jilly Box has been such a beautiful reminder that growth doesn't always look fast. Sometimes it looks like quiet consistency, building relationships, refining your craft, and staying rooted in why you started. To be included in something that reaches so many homes and hearts is an honor that we don't take lightly. If you're listening to this and you've ever felt like the dreams are taking longer than expected or that they're even impossible, let this be a reminder that alignment over urgency always wins in the long run. And if you're one of the people receiving the spring Jilly Box, we're so grateful this year. We hope our product becomes a small but meaningful part of your daily ritual. Thank you for being a part of our journey, for supporting small, heart-led brands, and for believing in what's possible when you build with intention. We'll see you in the next episode. Take care.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Love Saranghae with us, Peter and Andrea. If you've enjoyed this episode, leave us a review. Your ratings and reviews help more people like you find our show. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode, and share this podcast with someone you think would love it. Until next time, love yourself, love one another, and love the world.